in this video we're going to be basically transitioning a let's do this motion project. I'll show you how to basically take a sample application from Rockwell and be able to convert it to a working emulated file. And let's see if this took. I don't think this. I think this is the broke one, so I'm gonna have to remake it. But let's just see, because I want to show you actually start from scratch. If this fails to download, then yeah, I'll show it to you. Either way, I'll show you from scratch. But I think it's going to fail. Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. So yeah, save no changes. What we want to do is wait till this closes. Okay, so open Studio sample projects, and then go to version 30 again. We'll go to that's the Motion ACD, right? They have that one, and then they have I think it's Motion motions, yeah, Phase Manager Sequence. No, I want to say okay, here you go. It's SFC Motion example, and go ahead and make that one. Yeah, we'll replace it. We're going to open it. It's going to be version 30. I want to again show you the fact that you can easily take a version 30 back to whatever version you want to. In my case, I'm going to be emulating on version 28. So let's look at the code again. Version 30. So first and foremost, what I want to do is save as L5K desktop. I want to save it as V2. Okay, so V2, and I'll just put that there for that because I've already did it once. We'll close this out. Then what I'll do is I want to say it's the one that says B2, so it's right here. Okay, so we open up the L5K. Again, we go back to the major revision, change it to 28. Make sure you change your IE version to 19. That's the version that it runs on 28. Anytime you change versions, that's your Internet Explorer version. So if anybody wants to know, that's your Internet Explorer version. So you want to change the version up here, which is just the notes. Change the version in the controller. You want to change the version down in your first module, which is right here. And then we'll put that at 00. Okay, and then at that point, everything else is good. We'll just save and then close. At this point, you basically want to open up, and then you just say new project if you want. Actually, let's cancel that out. Let's open up an existing one. It doesn't matter. We're going to close it out. So we're going to let this basically let this open. Then we're going to open up another instance. So we're going to basically say open new. Then we're going to look for our L5K of the sequential function chart motion example V2. again, we'll put it on our desktop. It's version 28. Import it. This will take just a second because one version is open already and another version has to be opened and made. So it may look like it's doing nothing for the time being, but it is basically opening up a new version of the file we're making. So you see it right there, it's starting to take off. So okay, so it will make this version. As soon as it makes this version, we'll go ahead and start our work. Yes, it will act like it's starting from scratch. Okay, so now we have our version 28. All right. Let's go ahead and change it to slot 2. We want to go ahead and change the processor again to emulator, like we are accustomed to doing. So we'll go ahead and do that before we do any kind of edits. Okay. In this token, let's go ahead and do this. Now we know we can't run, and now this is going to be trying to run some servos, so we want to add virtual servos. So let's put v axis 0 and then v axis 1, right? So v axis 1, because currently it's looking for 2 hardware servos that don't have any hardware attached to them, so we're just gonna change the coding in here. Okay, so in this instance, we're going to change this to a V, and then we're going to change this to a motion axis home, and then we'll change this to a motion axis home. Actually, yeah. Okay, so that's going to look like it's not going to do anything. That's just because the tag's not valid. Same thing for the second axis. Okay, so V2, and then same thing right here. So basically, we're making 2 new tags. Okay, so that's going to take care of that. And right here, we want to change this to V1. Looking at our virtual axis, right? Want to come in here and do the same thing here, V, and then we're going to change this to V right here. So we need to make that tag. We did. Change this to V. Okay, and same thing here. Okay, and here. Okay, so just kind of make this tag. Okay, come down to here. In this instance, you can try, but the way this is actually done, it's not going to want to do this, which is fine, because I'm basically going to exit it out. We don't need it for our virtual stuff, but I'll go ahead and simulate it like we are. So see, it's not going to take, so what we'll do is we'll comment this out. Just like you comment a structured text out, right? And again, I'll put V. So make sure we have everything done that we need. Let's see, everything is done. The reason I say make sure you have everything done is because I don't know if you recall in prior videos that I've talked about, version 28 does not like hopping in and out of edits on emulation, but they have fixed that on the new version 30 emulator. I just haven't downloaded it because I'm lazy. So again, let's see, everything's good. I think that should be good. So let's verify everything. Let's go in and see if we can download now. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll tell. Failed. The controller does not match the controller. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's fine. I can make that match. Okay. Cool. All right. All right. Let's see. Download. And like I said, maybe this will take, maybe it won't. Sometimes they do not like going out of edit mode. It's a chance you take, right? So hopefully this works, and you get to see it. Okay, cool. All right, so if I have to edit from here, it will not work. I can guarantee you that. All right, so and we are stuck right here. Figure that. So the gearing status. We'll just step through it. Okay, so and I wonder if any of these axes are doing anything, because see, monitor axis, and because this is the first time I've ever, tried to, in essence, everything is made like it should be, so it should be working. But I do not see where they're moving. They're not doing anything. The actual position is 0. So according to the gearing, it should be moving right now at let's see, units per second. Oh, that's probably because I don't have anything in here. Conversions, position units. Yeah, it's because I don't have anything. Okay, so let's go offline real quick, and let's throw some attributes in here to top speed 200. I don't know, 3,000. The jerk, well, just call that 5,000. Let's see, 5,000. And well, we'll calculate it. Let's do that. Let's say 50%. Okay, and 50%. Oh, come on, 50%. Okay. All right. So conversion, homing, units. Yep. Cool. All right. So that one's done. Same thing to this one. Dynamics. So let's say 200. What would we say? 300. Actually, we said 3,000, right? 3,000. And then we said we would jack this up to 50%. And 50. Cool. And we'll take this one to 50%. Okay, cool. Homing, conversion, Yep, good. And we are time synced. I think so. Yep, cool. Alright. Now this should work. Let's see though. I don't know. Maybe pissed off now because it did not like the change. But I didn't change the graphics. I changed the servo, so it should be fine. it does not like going into charts and going out of charts. You have to do that offline and then download. So as long as you do that, you should be fine on 28. Else, I recommend going to version 30 on the emulator. Okay, so again, those are geared. We'll skip through this, step through. Boom. All right, so is the axis moving? So no, the axis is not moving. Okay. Nope. So I may have to kind of figure that out a little bit better, because essentially it should move and to a certain point, and then once this is done, so yeah, once this process is complete, the move distance is 20, the move speed is 10. Yeah, so it should be, everything should have moved, and the ladder is, so just looking at making sure that, yep, that's the main. Okay, cool. Yeah, it should be working. Let me step through that again, and it goes all the way through to here, and it doesn't do anything because these are not gearing together. Not sure why. Axis 1, axis 2. Oh, that's why. Yeah, okay. Okay, so save. Okay. So this may break it, just to let you know, unfortunately, because I have to change this. I will try to see if this will work again for the sake of, but you see what I'm doing. So this is all part of programming, right? And it's probably going to fail. Oh no. Nope, it worked. Okay, so as long as you don't try to try to edit while you're online, and you just go offline and do it download, you should be fine. So that's cool. Alright, so at this point, it should be gearing this to this, and the gearing status did not work again. Wonder why. And it should be moving axis 1, which I'm not sure that it's doing. Nope, not moving anything. Okay. So let's just do this. Let's just do motion axis commands. You can't do it on. You can go home. You can do a jog. Alright, so let's just jog it to make sure everything, the motions are make sure it's not a servo issue. Yeah, motion group is not synchronized. Okay, that's the issue. Let's go offline, and let's delete this. I should have thought about that. So, okay, so programming 101, right, guys? This is funny. Yeah. And it's not going to like that, the lock position and the lock position. So, because it doesn't have a lock position. So we'll just basically say that, and then we'll verify. So you see that, you know, basically going through the motions of trying to convert any kind of program to a simulated program does take somewhat of an effort, especially when it comes to servos. So, you know, it's just nothing. It's just going through and figuring out what's wrong and what you need to do to fix it, right? And I do this, you know, I like to do this live, so there was no preparation behind this, so that everybody sees exactly what's going on, right? Alright, so we're still in this point. Let's just go ahead and cycle through everything again. Okay, so it goes to here. Let's see if the axis is moving now. Maybe, maybe not. Not sure. It does say that the actual position is 20 now. So, looks like the axis, and that went good. Input 0 is what we're waiting on. Let's see. Input 0, input 0, input 0. Okay, so input 0. And I tell you what, let's do this. Let's say if axis 1, so we're going to simulate this. If axis 1 no, let's go, let's see, input, yeah, because it's looking for a real world input. Alright, so, and what we say this was? Input 0. Okay, input 0. And then we'll say if the timer, we'll put in a timer and we'll put in that the servo is at 20. So we'll compare and say if axis. Okay, so let's just do this. B axis 1 position I missed it. Yep. Okay, so axis position. Yeah, there it is. It's command position. What actual position? Actual position equals to 20. Then we'll say the timer that we're going to put in, we'll say axis at position and I'm just murdering spelling today. Okay, so axis at position timer, and we'll call that 5 seconds. And then we'll say basically, we'll make it somewhat uniform. We'll say this could not happen until this happens. And done. Okay. Okay, so now it does that. Oh, and when does it scan? And this is not a continuous scan. Isn't it something? Okay, so let's make we have to do a jump subroutine right in here. So Yeah, because this is not scanning. Let's just toggle this for the time being. Okay, so now the axis, everything is actually, let's close this out. And now you can see it going through the motions. Right, so the servo is moving. Let's see, let's go to the servo and look at, let's get this in alphabetical order. Look at the position moves. So you see the sequential function chart is actually running, even though it took us a minute to get it to work. Let's look at axis 0. And axis 0 is running in reverse. So the two axes are running in the sequential function chart, and it is looping back and forth, so it is working as it should. And actually it's scanning up top too. So if you looked, it's actually homing every time it goes through the motions. It's homing this both axes, and then their status comes high because you can't cut. And the reason I do this is because you cannot cut a virtual axis on. You can't tell it to just come on. You have to home it for it to come on. So I chose to home this, and then the action status comes on. This then jumps to A3, which A5. A5 is right here. And then it says, okay, I want to gear the two together. Once the axis is geared together, it's going to do the move. And after the move, it's going to wait till the bits come high and then input 0. Now again, I don't use the off because of the similar instance with the virtual axis. So basically, I just hop back through and tell them to, home themselves again. Now there's other ways that we can do this. I just wanted to save face on time. I want to show you how I took basically their scenario that they were using, and let's disable this so I don't have any flashing. Let's see, module connection, inhibit. Cool. So now we don't have any flash now. Alright, so basically I just wanted to show you how I took a running program, or a program that was not running, from a Rockwell sample logic, and that they had waiting for real world IO in a real world scenario, and I converted it to a emulated system off a different version. So fully converted over to a virtual axis servo system, so that the servos are actually running at this point in time and working. As we see right here, the servos are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So again, if somebody wanted this code to play with it some more, I don't mind giving it to them, because again, this is Rockwell's code. Or if you wanted to try to duplicate what I did, that's cool too. I would say that would be more challenging and probably learn a little bit more from it. So again, I know this kind of took up some time, but this was, I think, a very value added scenario. So it kind of helped you kind of grow and learn, hopefully. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or visit me at onlineplcsupport.com and message me there. Also, I have a Facebook group too, so if you want to get on that, it will become a closed group before long, because in 2018 I will be actually doing my own training. I'll be starting a training program, so anybody in that group can go ahead and grandfather in if they're in it then. Else you won't have access to that group unless you're in the training program. So until then, we're going to keep making videos and keep showing stuff and keep growing. So again, I do this to help drive the bus to keep all of us on the edge of technology. So if you would like, share, and subscribe, that'd be great. All right. So again, this is Shane Welcher, and thank you for watching.